Hi, I'm Jack and welcome back to Real Opinions, and hopefully this will be the first of two videos going up today, as decided last minute to try and get all of the Oscar Best Picture nominees reviews up on the channel before the ceremony, so that'll be fun trying to get that up in time with my internet. But for the first video I'm going to be covering Hell or High Water, which directed by David Mackenzie, written by Taylor Sheridan, starring Chris Pine, Jeff Bridges, Ben Foster. I have already seen it sort of a while ago, about a week ago, but I just didn't feel like I had that much to talk about it. And to be honest, I still kind of feel the same way, just because I don't necessarily have a big problem with this film, but I don't have many big positives for it either. The way that I kind of have narrowed it down to, if I had to put it into one sentence for what I think of this film, is that they're really great characters put into a film that I have seen 100 times before. In case you don't know what the synopsis is of Hell or High Water, well, really, it's some people have compared it to a western. I think that just might be because it takes place in the south of America and they wear cowboy hats occasionally, but it doesn't really feel like that. But it's about these two brothers that start committing bank robberies in order to help pay off Toby's debt. Toby being Chris Pine, and the reason why he has this debt is because it was looking after his dying mother's hospital bills, and now needs this money, needs this debt to go away in order to help his kind of estranged family. And yeah, what else can I talk about this film? I think that the plot, it was well shot all throughout and well edited as well. There wasn't ever a shot where I saw it and thought, that could have been done better. But there were, at the same time, again, nothing amazed me with it, but it was well shot all throughout. As I said, pacing all the way through. I was never bored with this film, which I was worried that I might be just from the trailers, as I typically I can't really stick with these kind of films. But I think, like I said, it's a film that I've seen 100 times before, but it did all the plot points as well as it could, I think. And then I'll get to my favourite bit of the entire film, which is the writing. Sort of the writing and the acting in a way, because, like I said, the overall plot, I think, is quite standard, and you can see where every single plot point is going before they get there. However, when it comes to dialogue and the way that the dialogue is portrayed, that's what really hooks you into this film. The dynamic between the two brothers, the dynamic between the two police chiefs, it's just really entertaining dialogue. There are lines that feel both cliched, but at the same time very original. It's hard to describe, but as in, they feel like they've been taken right out of real life, or something like that, as in these are genuine insults that the writer might have heard, or genuine compliments, or it just feels like there's very natural friendship and hatred between people, and conversations all flow very naturally. The one thing that I could really expand on with this film that I like talking about is the fact that when people always say, it's very natural dialogue, people just assume that means lots of ums, lots of ers, sort of like our reviews, I suppose, and they kind of think it's a bit naturally slower and a bit boring, if anything. I think that this is a good case of a film where it's both natural but extremely interesting dialogue writing, and it's not just in the sort of funnier moments. This film is pretty funny. I sort of said it with Manchester by the Sea, one of the other nominees, but this film was funnier than a lot of comedies I saw this year, and I really appreciated that aspect of it while I was watching. But one or two emotional scenes have this same kind of, I know, it's just inherently watchable dialogue, and I think that is the main standout feature of this film. Again, that's in part to the direction and the actors, but I think really, if you had to praise this film for one thing in particular, it'd be the dialogue. I know I've really harked on this one thing about this film, but like I said, everything else is very, I wouldn't say standard, because that implies that it's just kind of completely passable, like completely gloss over. I think that it's slightly above the standard, which of course is why it's gotten into this category. It's just that it didn't really have enough in any other feature, in any other aspect of it, to get me hooked or to get me interested. It was just towing the line, really, for me. But the dialogue was that one aspect that I just really enjoyed. Great, thank you very much for listening. Hopefully there'll be another one out today covering Lion. But if you want to see any other films that we've covered, we have, like I said, all the other Oscar nominees on this channel. We have a bunch of other films coming. And yeah, hopefully there's something else on the channel that you like. If there's anything else you want to cover us to cover as well, just write in the comments. Great.